What if Piglins were actually the original creators of magic? Could the Minecraft world actually be round instead of flat? Today, we're solving Minecraft theories that have been lost in time. Starting with, is the creaking an evolution of the Enderman? How is that even possible? The Enderman has been in the game all the way since 2011. Basically since Minecraft was first created. Since then, we've seen textures change on basically everything. That is except the Enderman, who has basically stayed exactly the same. Even the end hasn't changed. It's almost like Mojang totally forgot about the Enderman. So why now? Why would we suddenly have an evolution of the Enderman? And how are these two connected? They don't even look that similar. Wait, look at the eyes of the Enderman. I know that is something you would never, ever normally say, and I'm actually trying really hard here. And so, oh, no. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. Look at them. 3 pixels, right? It's the exact same eyes, just a different color. However, the creaking does have an additional eye. Oh! Now, I got a little bit too close. The other thing is the height. The height is really similar between these two mobs. We don't really have any other tall mobs, I guess, other than the Iron Golem. But the body shape is different. Our Enderman is really straight. The creaking, look at, he's bent around almost like he went to the doctor and did not take his advice for his scoliosis issues. Maybe the behavior can give us some more information. The creaking, as long as we look at it, doesn't move. Kind of the exact opposite of our Enderman, who if you look in his eyes, will kill you. Whereas this guy just stands totally still. The minute we look away, holy moly, all right, okay, we get it. He comes running straight for you. Turn away and hold up. Okay, yep, we get it. Come on, chill, dude, chill. Did y'all hear that sound? That death sound is terrifying, but it sounds kind of familiar. Do you think it's the same as the Enderman death sound? Okay, yep, and now I made him upset too. Okay, buddy, all right. And if you look away though, he'll also keep attacking you. That sound was nothing like the creaking. I was trying to find something there, guys. I'm trying to find their similarities to prove this theory, but to be honest, they were kind of total opposite sounds. Even their behaviors, some are the same, like looking in their eyes, and others are opposites, like the sounds. Unless, maybe I need to hear them closer. The very first thing I notice is even though the deaths sounded different, they look almost identical. Here is our Enderman death and our creaking death sounds in an audio software called Adobe Audition. It's basically Photoshop, but for audio. This is the waveform of the sound. It's basically, if the sound could be seen with your eyes, this is what it would look like. And you can see they look the same. So why do they sound so different? Let's listen to them side by side. We've got the Enderman. Okay, we're very familiar with that sound, but then we have our brand new creaking. Let's listen to this one. Wait, now that I've heard them back to back, it sounds like the creaking is a longer version than the Enderman. I mean, we can see that visually. So what if we take the Enderman sound and time and pitch, stretch a pitch? Do you think this could do it? I don't know, all right? I'm not an expert. And so 200% makes it 200% longer. And then if we lower the pitch, right? It definitely sounds lower than the Enderman. So maybe we lower it by 30 semitones. I don't even know what that means. We hit apply. Hold up, let's see them side by side. It's definitely way closer. Here's our Enderman sound with the effects added. Okay, it's super low quality and it's like pixely like an image because clearly I did it wrong. If you hear this one now, the creaking just sounds like a higher quality version of the Enderman. If I unmute the Enderman and play them at the same time, they're literally the same sound. They are literally the same sound. The Enderman death is a higher pitch for shorter. The creaking death is a lower pitch for longer. Different versions of the same thing. It's like the eyes. They're not opposites, they're the same thing. Now we know they're definitely connected, there's no doubt about it. But how is the creaking better than an Enderman? How is it an evolution? When I think about it, the creaking doesn't really have anything improved over the Enderman. They literally only spawn in this biome, they never leave it. They can't even teleport. Endermen can go wherever they want. How is that an advantage? How is that an evolution over the Enderman? I mean, I guess the Enderman has its own weaknesses. It can't stand in water, that's the one thing. Lol, noob, it doesn't like to take a bath, the stinky little Enderman. What about the creaking? I actually have no idea, I've never tested this before. Huh. The Creaking's all for a bath. He's not taking any damage at all. In fact, bro's just chilling. He's going for that beach holiday. So there's 1 point to the Creaking. Trapping it, right? Whenever I see an Enderman, the first thing I do is I chuck down a boat. They literally can't get out. Even if you hit them, they can't teleport out. I don't know what it is about the boats. They're actually really weak when you think about it. Endermen are so easy to counter. Will he get in the boat? Wait, what? Guys, I'm literally driving it into him. You saw how quickly the Enderman went into the boat. No matter what, he's not going into the boat. You can't counter him. You can't trap him. It's like he's almost not here. I wonder if that has something to do with it. What about combat? Oh my gosh, the other Enderman trapped himself in a boat as well. Maybe the Creakings are actually smarter. The point is though, when it comes to fighting, everybody knows that the Enderman is a beast. Because when you try to attack this thing, you can't even use your different weapons. Shoot a bow at it, boom, instantly teleporting, dodging it. But when you use it as a Creaking, what happens? Because they can't teleport, do they just tank the damage? That seems like a devolution. What? He instantly died. But you're telling me that's somehow better than an Enderman? That doesn't make sense. Oh wait, I'm dumb. This is because I'm spawning it using a spawn egg. But that's not how Creakings actually appear in the wild. They appear because of a Creaking heart. Creaking has a separated heart. When it comes time to midnight... Oh! I saw particles over there. Yes! We got ourselves a natural Creaking. Now, if I try and shoot him with an arrow, does he also die instantly? Wait, he didn't even take damage. Whoa, what are these particles? Oh, of course. Oh my gosh. Yep, I forgot. I can't. Nope. These things are invincible because their hearts are separated. Its heart is literally hidden inside this tree. You would have to go hunting in order to actually kill one of these guys. That is so much more powerful than an Enderman. Maybe this theory is actually true then. There's another weakness to Enderman we haven't talked about. Let me put on a carved pumpkin. Okay, I'm in. Oh, dude, he doesn't even care. I'm literally looking at him. You put on a carved pumpkin and he can still attack you, even if you're looking at him. Well, he definitely knows that I am not a friend. Luckily, I spawned that one in, so he's an instant kill. But where is our Enderman? Bro has no idea I'm here. I'm looking at him dead in the eyes. He doesn't care. In almost every way, the Creaking is better. It doesn't share any of the Enderman's weaknesses, which confirms our evolution theory. But how are Endermen actually becoming Creaking? Maybe there's an answer in this biome. It has a totally different sky. It looks totally different to anything else in the game. It's the only biome that isn't green, that has trees. The only one. Wait a minute. This is exactly the same as another biome. It's just not here in the overworld. The warped forest. The most distinctively unique biome of the Nether, markedly different from anything else. It is a totally different color, just like the Pale Garden is. And not only that, but the sky is also a different color.
EY, there ain't no sky in the Nether. You a silly dum-dum.
Well, actually, you're the silly dum-dum. Sorry, guys, I actually love you. You're not silly or dumb, all right? The point is, if I give myself night vision, you might notice the color of the fog, which is the equivalent of the sky in the Nether. It is very red. It's red everywhere, except when you enter into the Pale Garden. Oops, sorry. Not the Pale Garden, the Warped Forest. That was a bad joke. I was just trying to point out the fact that they are so similar. It's a different color. And okay, I thought for a second I saw a Creaking heart because I've been talking about it. And now I've just realized, and I didn't even plan for this, but like, the shroom lights, y'all. The shroom lights. Look at this. Can you not see how similar that is to a Creaking heart? Put them side by side. Look at that. And when it lights up, it's even more similar. Almost as if the Creaking heart is a faded, old, ancient shroom light. Now that I think about it, the only hostile mob that spawns inside the Warped Forest is Enderman. Just like the same way the Creaking only spawns in the Pale Garden. Is that connected to shroom lights? It's almost like these biomes are connected, but at the same time, they're from different dimensions. And they were released at different times. Could that mean that the Enderman actually created the Pale Garden? They took the shroom lights with them, and then they became Creaking hearts. they used the creaking hearts to evolve into the creaking in the overworld. But for all this to happen, the timelines have to be perfect. But if they are, it will prove this theory is real. This is the official wiki page for all things Warped Forest. It has every structure, every feature, every block, its temperature, all the mobs that can spawn here, every individual sound you can hear, and of course what I'm looking for, the history. Released on September 28th, 2019 in version 1.16. Now, let's compare that to the page here for the Pale Garden. And if we come a little bit further down, all the way to our history again, no. September 28th, 2024. Are you telling me that these updates were released on the same day? 5 years apart. That can't be a coincidence. How is it exactly the same day? Maybe it is a coincidence, but I don't think it is. I think they had to be connected. The Enderman creating the Pale Garden. It makes sense in the timeline. And in 1.21.5, the Pale Gardens now generate more frequently and are overall larger. Do you all realize how crazy this is right now? That means the Pale Gardens are growing bigger. The creaking are expanding further into the overworld. Are the Endermen using these two biomes to slowly take over Minecraft? Do they not like the end? Or are they trying to turn every other dimension into the end? A desolate wasteland where no other life can survive. Comment below what you think. Speaking of Minecraft worlds, I just can't stop thinking about this one theory. What if they were actually round? Yes, I know, it does sound kind of loopy-doopy, all right? I'm actually not the only one that's ever mentioned this theory. In fact, 10 years ago, people were still asking the same question. It's just been forgotten. And now as I fly higher, you can begin to see what I mean. Look at the way that the fog renders around the world. Do you notice that? That isn't a straight line. It's not a square. It's curved. How? If this world is supposed to be flat, then why does the fog render round? If we go ahead and hold F3 and G keys at the same time, it's going to show us the chunk borders. This is how the world allegedly generates the world. And these are in squares. And yet with my own eyes, I can see that it's not generating in squares, it's generating in a circle. Are these chunks a lie? Or is there something deeper here? I don't really know. But when we come down, you can't see the circle, but look at that horizon. The blue, the yellow, the sunset, all of it. It's just like our real life world. I'm no scientist, but I'm pretty sure the only reason sunsets even exist is because our Earth is round, and it all comes down to our atmosphere, which also so happens to be round. Just don't judge my circle drawing, okay? I try very hard. You might think that the sun goes straight into Earth, and that's how we see it, but it's actually wrong. The sun isn't here at all. The sun is down here. Yeah, you heard me right. Sun rays come into our atmosphere, and because it's circular, they refract like this. Yeah, it's getting all kinds of weird now, right? Like, I had no idea about this. And this light here is mainly blue light. That's what you see in the sky. And it goes out this way, all different directions, but it doesn't come down because you see there's another type of color in this light, right? It's sunlight. And if you're standing at the right location at the right time, that's when you're going to see colors like yellow bend down towards the Earth further away. Yellow, red, and of course right in the middle, we have that orange. That only happens because of our atmosphere. Whereas, if you're saying this is like Minecraft, a singular flat line, that blue light is coming down and hitting it right there. You will never get that beautiful yellow or that beautiful red light. It's just not possible. It can't come out. It's blue everywhere. And eventually, the sun has to crash into the Earth. Complete and utter destruction everywhere. So then why hasn't complete doomsday happened to the Minecraft world yet? What happens when it becomes day and night? To ensure the most consistent and accurate results, I used replay mod to basically just film me standing in a world as the day cycle continue onwards. Normally, you wouldn't really notice anything just by watching it, but that's why replay mod is so useful, because I can take the speed all the way up to 8, and we can watch as the sun and moon turn around and see if we notice anything out of the ordinary. Okay, the sun's going around. It's clearly not crashing into the world, right? If it was flat, it should. Wait a minute. Is it just me, or did the moon just get more circular? Hold up. I don't care about the sun. The sun is clearly square, and it's clearly not crashing. But what about the moon? No, it's flat again. It was circular just before. It went from flat to circular. Why did it change? Okay, there goes the sun again, and the moon, it's circular again. Hold up, wait, pause. Pause it. No. It's really hard to tell. I wish I could zoom in on replay mod here, guys. Right now I'm trying to fly towards the moon. That might be the most newbie thing I've ever done. The point is here, even though it looks curved, that just appears to be the shadow. You can just vaguely make out the outline of our moon. The moon's still square, it's just the shadow that is rounded. If the sun is square and the moon is square, that breaks our whole theory. Even though I just proved with real life logic, I need more evidence. Maybe Mojang has said something about it, the world shape. What about the website? This might be a completely useless shot in the dark. At least it's worth a shot. Create, explore, survive, dig deeper. Okay, we're going down. Dig deeper. Is this gonna tell me about the world? Platforms and features. Yeah, well, this is kind of useless. I know how to play Minecraft. Give me something interesting here. Discover Minecraft. But anything you can imagine, blah, 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 blah. Blah. Explore and craft your way through an infinite world. The world can't be round if it's also infinite. Does this mean our theory's over? Because in the real world, if you walk in one direction, if you somehow could walk all around the earth, you'd end up back at the same point. But it's just not true in Minecraft. You hit a world border. What if the world border was stopping us from walking around? But there's no way to disable it. What's another way we can prove it? In the real world, if you dig down, you eventually would get to the other side. Unless, of course, you got boiled by the molten core. Maybe we could try that in Minecraft? Well, y'all, I'm down pretty bad and still no other side of the earth. But I'm sure we all know how Minecraft works. I'm gonna dig a little bit further down, hit some bedrock, and then below our bedrock, that's the void. I fall down there, I die. Even in creative mode. Watch, ready? Here I go. And there it is. Okay, fly up, go. Okay, well, I was supposed to fly out of there like a hero, but... Anyways, as I was saying, there is no way for us to test if there is something on the other end. This is basically like Earth's molten core. It kills anything that comes into it. Except this is not real life. I have the ability to use commands, including one that should make me totally invincible. 255 is the highest setting for an affected Minecraft. If we give that true, switch into survival, I shouldn't die, right? Okay, this is good. And look, the world rendered round. Even just for a second, you can see it was round. Obviously now it's disappeared, but it's gotta be here somewhere, right? Right? Okay, yeah, I'm kind of getting bored too, guys. Guess it's TikTok time. After falling for what felt like hours, I realized there was no other side. I'm so bored. Not even Jack Black saying Clinton steal a million times is interesting me anymore. This is it. I give up. I can't do this anymore. There is no other side. The world can't be round. But what about all the other evidence we found? It's just... There is an equal amount of evidence for both sides of this theory. I feel like I'm letting you down. I'm sorry. I just don't know. What do you think of this old theory? Maybe we can debunk it together in the comments below, or you can send your theories to my email, ey@spawnpointmedia.com. But this isn't the only theory players have forgotten. What if I told you that Minecraft's Piglins were the first ever creators of magic? But before we can use big words, my English teacher always taught me, you must first define them. What is magic in Minecraft? We have the end chest, all right? It can hide your items from anyone except for you. And all the items are just shared, right? You put it over here, you chuck in an item, boom, somehow it's over here. I don't know how. The Nether portal. It teleports you to a literal different dimension. That is the definition of magic. And finally, the enchanting table. It's in the name. It gives you armor and weapons. Well, I mean, it gives your armor and weapons powers, right? All these things do stuff that isn't logical. Physics can't explain it. This is magic. What do all of these have in common? Obsidian. That is the key. Or at least I think it is. Obsidian doesn't exactly look that magical. It's kind of lame, I'm not gonna lie. It looks like Ender Dragon poo. Wait a minute. There was another block that was added in one of the more recent updates, and I honestly forget about it because I've been playing Minecraft for 12 years. The crying obsidian. It might just seem like a decorative block, but in a previous video, we came up with a theory that portals were actually inside of this crying obsidian, that this purple was that was portals, right? But what if we were wrong? What if inside was actually way more power than we ever realized? Look, same color. Do you think there are other items in Minecraft that have a similar color? Maybe other items connected to magic. The respawn anchor. If you charge it up, it will literally teleport you back here when you die. That's magic. The dragon's breath. Not quite the same color, but still really close. And of course, we can't forget about the Enderman, who has those menacing purple eyes. Dragon fireball? That's the same. It's all the same. The same magic which is trapped inside the obsidian block, and when it starts crying, the magic is seeping out. It's escaping. How do you even get crying obsidian? Maybe through the piglins? From my understanding, crying obsidian is only found in very few places. The first is ruined portals, which clearly are ancient, so they must be the result of something happening long ago. And the second, well, that's here in our bastions. Or more specifically, should I say, the residents of the bastions themselves, the piglins. If I trade gold with them, they will give us crying obsidian leather.
Bruh.
Well, that was very anticlimactic. It would have been such a great reveal if they actually gave me crying obsidian on the first trade. Maybe you will allow me to have my cool moment. And they will give us crying obsidian. Oh, okay. We got the crying obsidian. That's the point. They have this, all right? These are the two ways you can get it. I think you might actually even be able to find it in the bastion chests themselves. Maybe here? Yo, look at that. There's so much in here. Literally obsidian for days. Okay, new theory. What if the piglins collected the obsidian and just sucked all of the magic out of it, creating crying obsidian? They were the ones who ruined those portals. They built the portals themselves because they would have had to get to the overworld to get obsidian in the first place, but then they sucked it out. But why don't they do it anymore? Why don't they use magic anymore? Did they forget about it? Did they suck all of the obsidian? And, I mean, they're pretty dumb these days. Why? Wait, but if they went to the overworld, then they should have way more things from the overworld, and yet all they have is stuff that you can only get in the nether, right? Take this. Water. But the last I checked, water just evaporates. You can only get it in the overworld. Not only did they use magic, but they came from the overworld in the first place. Except there's just one major, giant, huge flaw to this theory. When piglins are in the overworld, yeah, that happens. They zombify. They turn into zombie piglins. And then they're pretty useless after that. Did they search the overworld as zombie pigmen and then go to the nether? What if they came from the overworld originally? I'm pretty sure piglins are brand new, but zombie pigmen, which is this design, have been around since I started playing Minecraft 10 years ago. Maybe that was when magic was first added. And I'm back on the wiki. Honestly, it feels like this is my best friend for these videos. Holy moly, it's had a huge history. All the way back in 2010, version 1.2 was when we first saw the zombie pigmen. In fact, initially they didn't even have swords. 15 years ago. You can see just how many updates was made to them before finally they turned into the zombified piglins. What about witches? If we come down to history, 2012, that was 2 years after the piglins. Piglins were added to the game first. They were the first creators of magic. That's confirmed. But magic in Minecraft has changed so much since 2012. Why can't the piglins use magic like other mobs now? Maybe they used all their magic to heal themselves from that zombified state, go to the nether, and turn themselves into piglin. But then, why stop using magic? Perhaps it has to do with those other mobs that can still use magic? Witches will use potion for their magic. Pillagers, they just shoot it straight from their hands. There's no obsidian. Unless they are using obsidian. They have so many different rooms. Could there be just a room full of obsidian here? I'm not seeing it. Wait. Oh my gosh. It's just a random room. It doesn't even have doors into it. This could be powering all of the magic that happens in this woodland mansion. That's why there's no door to it, so nobody can break into it by accident or something like that. I don't know. If the pillagers collected the obsidian, they must have used it for magic. And if so, did they mine it themselves? Maybe the zombie pigmen mined it and gave it to them? Is that why piglins can't use magic now? They gave it all to the pillagers? That just doesn't seem right. It feels like we're getting so close to solving this, but it's just something is not adding up. Could something here, some structure, some shape, help explain why these bozos don't want to use magic anymore? Why they're just so focused on building giant ruins? Well, I don't think they would choose to build a ruin. It's just fallen apart. Their home is in ruins. The only thing that's half nice here is gold. Hold up. I might be letting the movie influence my opinion a little bit here now that I've just watched it, but maybe the movie is giving us a clue to the real lore of piglins. All they care about is gold. What if the greed for gold led them to no longer use magic, right? Like, look at these giant blocks of gold. I can take this gold and I can give it to a piglin. They will adore it before finally giving you something in return. And did you see that? They gave me a potion. They gave away magic. They're trading away precious magic just to get gold. Not only that, but piglins will attack you if you try to mine any nearby gold. The evidence is adding up. What if just over the years, they just became more and more greedy? The greed grew bigger and bigger. They started by trading small bits of magic, like you saw there, for gold, until eventually they've just given it all away, turning into these mindless creatures who care about nothing else but gold. It might seem stupid that greed can do this much damage to an entire civilization, but this idea of greed has been around for over 4,000 years in the Bible. It was written by people 4,000 years ago who said in Proverbs chapter 15, verse 27, the greedy will bring ruin to their households, but the one who hates bribes will live. And these guys, I mean, clearly they love bribes. The theory is true. I thought we would find something cool, and yet we've just unlocked one of the saddest realities of humankind. If you want to live a good life, don't become greedy. Be thankful for what you have. And of course, let me know what other theories you want me to debunk by commenting them down below. Thank you to all of these guys for making today's video possible. You're my new favorite EY Mega fans. If you want a shout out, just click the join button below this video, scroll down and click EY Mega Fan.